A text box is just that, a box that contains text. What kind of text? Well, any text you want to put into it. I know that doesn't sound appeasing, but if you look at it another way, text boxes can be great attention grabbers. What I mean by that is that, for example, when you look at the title of my document, Faith, Hope, and Charity, it may not interest you, but if I take some key words in here, or key phrases like corrupt government, I copy that, put it in a text box, and put that box right here, and make the font of that copied text within the box large, like maybe size 16 or 18, that may grab your attention. Ooh, corrupt government. I wonder what this is about. Which government's corrupt? I don't know. Is it ours? You get the idea. So to go ahead and insert a text box, let me go ahead and click off. Come up here, click on the Insert tab, go to the text group, click on the text box drop-down arrow, and you've got two ways to insert a text box. You can either choose from one of the Microsoft built-in text boxes or go ahead and draw your own. I'm going to come up here and choose this one right here. And notice that the text box is centered in the middle of the page. So when I click on it, what does it do? Inserts the text box in the middle of the page. And the text in the document wraps around that text box. Pretty cool. You can go ahead and read what's within the text box. It gives you some suggestions. You can go ahead and type a quote from the document or the summary of an interesting point. That way, if the title doesn't grab you, hopefully there's something interesting that I could pull out of the document here and put into the text box. And you can see the font of the text box is a lot larger than the text outside of it, so it's going to grab your eye. Then reading on, it says you can position this text box anywhere within the document. You can also use the Drawing Tools tab, there it is, Drawing Tools, to format the pull quote text in the box. What is a pull quote? We'll talk about that in the next training video, but basically it's just taking a quote within your document and pulling it over into the text box. Well, not pulling it, but making a copy of it in any case. So all I need to do is either copy and paste within the text box or just start typing. Hey, want a free lunch with Glenn Beck? Who wouldn't want that? In any case, let me go ahead and hit enter. I can change the font, so if I grab their attention with the title here, the next thing I need to do is maybe point them to a website so they can go ahead and enter the drawing by giving us their email address and their first and last name. So I can right click, go down to the mini formatting toolbar, change it from the current font to, I don't know, maybe Times New Roman, and then right click again, and let's type in size 12, and then unselect the italics button here, and then just start typing. And then of course I give them some website there, but you get the idea. So when I click off, you can see that when I'm looking at the document, Faith, Hope, and Charity, ooh, what's this box down here? Win a free lunch with Glenn Beck? Sure, I may not read the document, but hey, I'll go to the website because I really like that Glenn guy. And then like it said, you can actually move the box around. Just hover over the border. First go ahead and select it, and then when you hover over the border, you get the four-way arrow. Go ahead and click and drag, and you can move that box, and then the text within the document just wraps around it. What kind of a wrap? Well, come up here on the Format tab to the Arrange group, click on the Wrap Text, and you can see that down below the square is highlighted. So it's got a picture of some animal, I think it's a dog, and then the lines around it are the text, so you get an idea of how it wraps, if it does wrap, or if the image goes behind the text or in front of the text. In any case, I'm going to leave it at square because that looks good. Click off in a blank area. You can also draw a text box if you don't want to use one of the built-in templates. Let me go ahead and click off, come up here, click on the Insert tab, go to the text group, click on the text box drop-down arrow, and click on Draw a Text Box. When you click on it, your pointer turns into a black cross or your I-beam to a black cross. Just go ahead and click and drag. When you do that, the text box is laid on top of the document here. Then go ahead and type in. Not only can you type in text, but you can actually insert images into the text box. So if I hit enter, come up here, click on the Insert tab, and I can do clip art if I'd like. Go ahead and click on that. And ooh, dragon. Let's go ahead and do a search for that. And then find a dragon, click on it. Wherever my cursor's at, that's where it's going to be inserted, and it inserted it into my text box. Let me go ahead and close out of the task pane here. And you can see that the image is a bit bigger than my text box, and it expands just below it. In which case I can go ahead and click within the text box and take one of its resizing handles, like the bottom middle handle, click and drag that, so I can see more of the image of the dragon. And then of course I can hover over the border, click and drag, and move it around. Now if I want the text to wrap around it like this text box, then after I have it selected, come up here to its related contextual format tab, go to the Arrange group, and well, click on Text Wrap. I like square or tight. Tight's really tight, closer to the border of the image, or the text box in this case. Go ahead and select it, and then you can just click and drag and move it around. And in any case, if you want to get rid of one, just click on it, hit the delete key, and there you go. Let me click and drag this one over. In fact, you can drag it over, or you can come up here on the Home tab, and you've got the paragraph alignments. You can do center, you can do right, and within the text box, it's going to align the text and the image. I mean, just all the formatting that you can do within your document, you can also do within the text box, okay? And then also, let me come up here on the Format tab. How about some shape style? Click on the corresponding drop-down arrow, and let's get a little color to our text box. Subtle Effect Red Accent 2. Ooh, sounds like a fancy name. I better select it. After I do all this work for my text box, you know, I give it a color, maybe I give it a shape outline, maybe something light blue, and maybe a shape effect, maybe some sort of glowing glow, warming glow. There we go. And I'd like to use that in future documents. Then go ahead and make sure it's selected. Come back up here, click on the Insert tab, go to the text group. Now I know you're thinking that, hey, we're inserting a text box. No, just click on it like you're about to insert one, and instead of inserting or drawing one, we're going to save it. When you click on Save, it says, okay, what's the name of it? It's going to be Spiffy. Now the gallery is where it's going to be found, and it's in the text box gallery. So when you click on that, it'll show up there unless you want to change it and add it to, I don't know, the footer or headers gallery. So when you click on headers or footers, it will be in there, but that doesn't make sense, but nonetheless you get my point. So let me click off and leave it at text boxes. And in the category, you can have it as the built-in, but the built-in is what Microsoft has. I don't want it to show up as something that Microsoft created as a default, although I could have it in the built-in, or I can have it in the general, or I can create my own category. I'm going to put it in the general category, and then I can give it a description. You know, something that if you have a lot of similar text boxes, you can be a little bit more definitive by describing it here. And then where do you want to save it? I recommend saving it in the default building blocks, and we'll talk about building blocks in a later training video. And then you have where you can save it in the options. We'll talk about building blocks in a later training video. So to keep it simple, we've got the name, the gallery, it's going to be in the text box gallery, and then the category is going to be general with the description. Click Okie dokie, and then, well, let's go ahead and see if it's available not only in this document, but in any new document. Come up here, click on the File tab, go down to New, double-click blank, opens up. Let's come up here, click on the Insert tab, let's go to the text group, click on the text box drop-down arrow. Now remember, I didn't put mine in the category of built-in. Let me scroll down to the bottom. It's in the general. Hey, Spiffy text box. And then when I hover over it, you can see the description. This is my fancy text box. Click on it, insert it, and cool. It kept the formatting of my text box, the glow, also the colors, the image, and the text. So that way I don't have to go ahead and recreate this. Awesome. Let me go ahead and close out of here. I'm not going to save it. And then if I want to go ahead and modify the name of the text box here, or change it from the gallery of the text box, when you click on the drop down arrow, maybe put it in another gallery. In any case, any changes you want to make, or if you want to get rid of it, just come down here again in the general category, right click on it, and you get some options. You can go ahead and insert at current document position, edit the properties, organize and delete, or add gallery to the quick access toolbar, which you can add it up here. Now when it comes to editing the properties, click on it, brings up the same box here that I can go ahead and change the name, what gallery, category. In any case, let me click cancel. Let's try that again. Click on the drop down arrow. This time we want to delete it. Right click on it, go to organize and delete. It opens it up. There it is, Spiffy text boxes, and it's the general category. I can come down here and click on the delete button, or I can click on edit properties, brings up the same window. Let me go ahead and delete it, say yes, click close. It's no longer available in my text box drop down in the general category. I don't have a general category. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for great specials on my products, please see the description below this video.